everybody. My name is Ashley Owens, and welcome to Connect to Success with me on your lunch break. Thank you for joining us on RVN TV. Today, I'm actually really excited about this. I know I say this every week, but I have Bill Morrow from Empirical Consulting, and the reason why I love Bill is because, one, we're part of the same mastermind group, but two, Bill and I think the first time we met, we talked about, for a good 45 minutes, just shooting the shit, apparently.
Yeah, we did.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So Bill, I know that you and I talk about all the things that you do, but I want to hear more about you. So why should people care that you're on the show today?
I'm not sure they should. You know, maybe it really doesn't matter. I'm not 100% sure. Now, I love sales and I love networking and building professional groups. And
you're the managing partner of Empirical. Okay.
I am the managing partner at Empirical Consulting Solutions, and that's what my business is helping people build successful companies, and a large part of that is being able to network and build your own personal business network.
Awesome. So tell me more. Okay, so where'd you grow up?
I grew up in the Detroit area.
Did you really?
I did.
Wow.
I grew up outside of Detroit, downriver Detroit, very blue collar, very car-driven, automotive industry.
Okay.
I think everyone I knew either had something to do with the automotive industry or was directly building cars.
Really?
And my parents owned a little hardware store.
Okay.
That I learned how to be a salesperson at. They had sold lawnmowers, tractors, and snowblowers, and it was fantastic. It was a place to learn how to sell in a consumer environment, read people, interact with people, learn the whole piece of the sell. So that's where I learned how to sell.
So do you remember when you first realized that you were a salesperson at a young age? And like, how did you know, when did the shift happen?
I don't know when that really happened, but I started selling when I was 9, 10 years old.
Doing
which
what?
was the equipment. And, you just jumped in there and you jumped in and you tried it out and saw what worked and what didn't work. By 12 or 13, I was selling 400 or 500 units a year. So we were one of the largest sales organizations for the lawn equipment in the country.
So it was lawn equipment, so it was snowblowers, lawnmowers, all those things.
Yeah.
So it was your parents'
parents' place.
Wow, is it still around?
Still around.
Wow.
They no longer own it. They've sold it. It's Keck Hardware, and they're in Trenton, Michigan. And now they are out there still moving right along, and they do a whole bunch of other things now too.
Okay, so in the pecking order, where are you in the pecking order for your family?
I'm number 3 overall.
Okay, so you're the baby or the oldest?
I'm the second I'm in the middle.
I'm in the middle, so you're perfect.
I have a older brother and sister and a younger brother.
Okay. So you're right in the center, so you're perfect.
Correct.
All of the middle children out there, just letting you know that you're perfect.
We don't all get messed up, right?
No, we're a little, we're messed up. Yeah, I think you got to be a little off to work in sales at some point, right?
Somewhere.
A little screwy.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Detroit. Now you have now you work as a managing partner for Empirical. Tell me what happened between coming out of school. What did you study in school?
I was a biology, chemistry, physics major.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Crazy,
so what happened?
I had a great teacher, a couple of them in the science department at my high school.
Okay.
Really motivated me to go into the sciences. Thought I was going to teach. My grandfather, being smarter than I was, said, "You really are a business person. You need to become a business person." So he tried to convince me to do that. I just said, no, I know better. I got done, realized on the last day, literally the last day I was going through student teaching, that I was not meant to be a teacher, because the union rep came in and said, look, you get all this certainty in the world, and you get to come in and you know this is going to be your classroom for the rest of your life, and this is where you're going to be. And that scared me to death.
Oh, that's a little terrifying. It's like being in a closet box.
That's the only thing you're going to be the rest of your life. I was like, no, I can't do that. So.
Oh yeah, thinking about that kind of gives me anxiety.
Yeah, me
the
too.
tingles I don't want. That's a little aggressive.
Yeah.
Okay, so good to know, because your personality is way too ambitious to be in just one room, I think. So you stopped being a TA, and then what happened after that?
I decided I was going to go into sales, like everyone had told me I should have done it originally, and I went to sell the hardest thing I could find, and a buddy of mine was selling copiers at the time for Xerox. He said, we have an open position, and it was the general street position. They taught you the product and threw you out there.
Wow,
so great.
Just hitting the ground running.
Yep, you either sank or swam.
And obviously you swam.
Mostly.
Yeah, so tell me about a time where you sank.
Well, I think early on you learn that it's not what you say, but it's how well you listen and apply those things to customers. And so in the first few months, I just tried to overwhelm you with features and benefits, and that just doesn't work anymore. So I don't know if it ever worked.
Yeah, I feel like I'm trying to phrase this appropriately. So I I had another sales advocate on the show, and one of the things I asked her was, why do you think sales representatives get such a bad rap?
I think some of it is still a hangover from the 80s and 90s and even early 2000s. Before the internet, you had to go to a salesperson to get the information you needed, and so often they weren't accurate, or they only told you what you wanted to hear, and that pushy salesperson was really developed. I think good sales, and you still see them once in a while, but good sales and good sales groups today are all about being consultative to the customer, and I think you see that fewer and fewer anymore.
How can you identify somebody like that nowadays?
Somebody that is
like that, yeah.
That is heavy duty and pushy. Yeah, you'll see that when I'm interviewing. I hear things like, well, I could sell ice to Eskimos. Well, don't think Eskimos need ice, so that's probably not something we need to be pushing.
Okay, well, that actually is a fantastic analogy, because you're right. I don't think they need it, so why are you trying to sell them something that they don't
The
need?
whole goal of a good salesperson and a good company should be to identify people who need the services and products they have, and then help the customer understand the benefits of using their product or services along the way.
So how did having brothers and sisters kind of help your sales tactics?
Overall, I think it's learning how to interact and interact in a small group. I think being concise in your answers and being able to motivate a small team, which is basically what you're doing in a family, right?
Yeah, you had a story. I think we were talking in the green room. You had a story about how you started.
How I started
working in sales. I know it was the hardware store, but I think there was a store that you were talking about. Maybe I missed that.
No, I started in the hardware store. Yeah, that's where I was. That's where I started selling, and that was my first sales roles.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So did you ever have a sales job that you didn't like? You don't have to name the company, but like
I think we always have some that you don't enjoy as much as others. I've had some that haven't been great, haven't been good overall.
Okay, and when we return, we're going to talk to Bill about Empirical Consulting and how he's a master connector there and why we love him so much. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Christine Patton, the Juice Girl. The Champion Juicer has been my juicer of choice for years. Whether I'm making a glass of juice or a large batch of juice for my juice bar. These juicers are simple to use and so easy to clean. Champion juicers are masticating, cold-pressed juicers. 2 models are available, the Classic 2000 and the new Elite 4000. Besides juicing, both models can make frozen fruit, smoothies, nut butters, sauces, and even baby food. The Elite 4000 Champion Juicer also excels at juicing greens and wheatgrass. These juicers deserve to be called the world's finest. For more information, please visit my website at juicegirlpharmacy.com or championjuicer.com.
Is your business growing and now you need a new and bigger building? Has your organization outgrown their facility and now it's time to expand?
Do your hobbies require the need for more space?
If you're paying rent, but now you want the advantages of owning, the prospect of financing, construction, and on-time completion may seem out of your reach. General Steel Corporation has the answer.
A pre-engineered steel building from the General will not only look great and satisfy almost any need, but you'll save time and money. Our team will help you create your building and deliver it to your location. We offer design services to help you present your concept to board members, bankers, or for fundraising. And the General can even help with financing.
General Steel is a name you know, with quality backed by a 50-year structural warranty. Call today and find out how easy it is to have the building you want.
You may even save up to $20,000 with rebates. If you need space, you need the General.
Seniors, want peace of mind and a free prescription discount card? Keep listening. Are you age 85 or younger? Here's an important message to you and all seniors from Final Expense Direct Insurance Services. The average funeral now costs over $7,000, and the most government benefits will pay your family is only $255. Our senior plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. There's no medical exam, and you'll have lifetime coverage. Plus, your rates will never increase, and your plan cannot be canceled as long as you make your premium payments. Get your free information about our senior plans. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone. Plus, call right now and you'll receive a free prescription discount card.
Call 855-223-7661. That's 855-223-7661. 855-223-7661.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call now.
Thousands of people contact General Steel each month for a pre-engineered steel building. Business owners who need office, retail, manufacturing, or storage facilities. Leaders who need churches, schools, and gymnasiums. They all want the same thing, the advantages of owning. To build quickly and save money. Quality, backed by our 50-year structural warranty. And they all want to work with a name they know, General Steel. Call us today for the building you need and save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction.
And welcome back to Connect to Success with Ashley Owens. That's me on your lunch break. Thank you so much for joining us today. I have Bill Morrow from Empirical, wow, Jesus, mother, it is, words are hard today. Empirical Consulting. So,
yes.
Bill, tell me why we had talked about why sales people do get a bad rap, and because of the 80s and the 80s, 70s, and 80s mentality. Why should people? I mean, why is Empirical different? I mean, convince me, because it can be a heavily saturated market, and in that instance, you get a lot of people that say they do the same thing, but not really do the same thing. So, kind of convince me in the audience why people should work with you.
Right. So at Empirical, we work across both operations, sales, marketing, and HR.
Okay.
I handle the sales piece. In the sales world, what makes us different is we focus in on understanding what makes you different as a company, and we want to understand what your unique selling proposition is. We want to see how you're positioned in the industry, and then we'll build and create a plan for you that you can execute, or we can come in and execute for you. So what makes us really different is our ability to execute against any plans that we build or create, so which is unlike any of our competitors. Most people either want to train salespeople, or they want to give you a strategic plan in a binder and then walk away, take a lot of money. That's just not what we're about. We put skin in the game, and we come in behind you, whether that's operations, sales, or HR, marketing as well.
So you show them, or you do it for them? Is that kind of how the packages are available?
Correct.
How does that work?
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. We'll show you what needs to be done, build the plan out for you,
Okay.
or we'll absolutely come in and execute for you. For instance, at 2 or 3 companies, I'm an executive on the team, and I'm their VP of sales.
Okay.
So I come in on a fractional basis. We do that for our customers across the line. In some places, we're doing that as distribution managers or COOs or something of the like.
So I know that recently, and this is just because you and I are a mastermind group together, you recently rolled out a new service offering. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we have 2 or 3 new service offerings, but one of the ones that we found really beneficial on the sales side has been the executive leader training program that we've put together for the sales team.
Okay.
So often, sales leaders get promoted to those roles because they were great individual sales contributors.
Right.
That's fantastic that they were great contributors, but they don't have the training or the understanding of what it means to be a leader. So we come in and with our folks, all executive VPs of sales that have been in the business for 10, 15, 20 years, we have a 20-point plan we put in place, and we show them how to create an overall environment that's going to be successful for them and their company and their team.
So in your opinion, as you're going through these executive leader trainings, what characteristics of a person can you identify that would show them to be a better leader?
You know, I think any individual can learn to be a sales leader no matter what their characteristics are or what they do. I believe that certain traits like the ability to present themselves as a leader and be a little more dominant or come across a little more dominant definitely helps. But I think it all starts with having a good assessment tool and having an assessment tool done. We believe in and we use predictive index and we're big fans of that.
Yeah.
So understanding where your baseline is and what you need to coach to is critical, and we believe in that. And anyone can stretch and become a leader using their skill set, but you got to know what your skills are.
Yeah, and I think having that self-awareness and identifying like where you are on that you know that pole, that whole spectrum of how you, what drives you, what identifies the right kinds of characteristics that you can kind of mold, and how do you work together as a team, I think.
Correct.
I mean, very much to your point, if you have a sales leader who is getting promoted to a sales, executive position, they're taking a step back from not the execution, and they're putting together the process.
Correct.
And that can be very difficult. I've
Very
seen that
tough.
be very difficult.
Yeah.
So you gotta have a little bit, I mean, to your point, if you guys have skin in the game, it absolutely makes you more valuable because you're invested. You're heavily invested into that process.
Yeah, we want to see you do well. We all started this business. Our why is we love helping companies, and we got tired of working in corporate America that really didn't give us a lot of fulfillment on and helping companies. And we saw these small, medium-sized companies, $5 million to $100 million, struggling because they couldn't afford people and assets that could come in and help them. And we love doing that. In some places we do it for free, and other places we do it very cost efficiently for them.
That's fantastic. So typically, how do you guys typically work with? What kind of size businesses?
Yeah, typically anywhere from 5 million to 100, 150 million, but we do some smaller and we do some larger. Our smallest has been $500,000. Our largest has been $7 billion.
Okay.
Couple bucks.
That's okay. It's just chunk change on a Saturday night. It's good for tequila shots, pretty much. But
exactly.
when you have these bigger clients, and you're coming in to kind of rearrange the sales force, what do people do when people call you up? What do they ask?
They usually know they've got a problem. They may not know exactly where the problem stems from, but they know they've got a problem, and they may give me a guess. Like, I think it might be my leader. I think it might be our process. And we'll come in and we do a fresh eyes assessment. So we'll come in and we do a full assessment and tell them this is where your actual root cause of your problem is, because it's often a little bit different than what they think because they see the symptoms of that problem.
And the investigation, right? It's the whole investigation phase, identifying the need, figuring out what works out, providing a plan for them to be able to go to the next step.
Correct. Because if you don't know where to go, if you don't know where you're at.
Okay, and so what makes you guys different? I know you kind of go in and maintain having skin in the game.
Yeah.
So why is that important do you think, to businesses?
Yeah, I think they love seeing the fact that we are there for them, and we're not just telling you, okay, you've got a problem. Anybody can do that.
Yeah.
But we're saying, hey, here's the problem. Let's take a look at the time and motion of the problem. Let's go in and take a look at what people do on a day-to-day basis. And let's really look at executing a plan that's going to work, because so often you need to be agile in your approach, because as you start to execute a plan, you might find something works here but doesn't work there. And you need to be able to adapt that. And being able to, for us to see the changes and knowing where they need to be done makes a big difference to the company, because oftentimes they don't have that horsepower or the experience to be able to do that.
And all of your team is a subject matter expert in their field. So
Correct.
you're coming in with the highest executive leadership team to come in and kind of revamp your sales process.
Correct. Yeah, we have people from Bristol Myers Squibb to Aramark. They've all been in Fortune 50, 100 type companies, billion-dollar companies, and we all have experience running P&Ls of
What are
upwards
P&Ls
of
for people who don't know?
$500 million.
What are P&Ls for people who don't know?
Profit and loss statements. We run the entire book of business up to $500,000 in revenue every year.
Well, if that's not impressive, then I think you all should stop watching, because I think that's pretty damn impressive. So on our way back, when we're going to talk to, the reason why Bill's here is because he's a power networker. So with all of his experience in sales, we're going to learn about how he maintains those relationships, how he builds them, and why he makes his connections his champions. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Christine Patton, the Juice Girl. The Champion Juicer has been my juicer of choice for years. Whether I'm making a glass of juice or a large batch of juice for my juice bar, these juicers are simple to use and so easy to clean. Champion juicers are masticating, cold-pressed juicers. 2 models are available, the Classic 2000 and the new Elite 4000. Besides juicing, both models can make frozen fruit, smoothies, nut butters, sauces, and even baby food. The Elite 4000 Champion Juicer also excels at juicing greens and wheatgrass. These juicers deserve to be called the world's finest. For more information, please visit my website at juicegirlpharmacy.com or championjuicer.com.
And welcome back to Connect to Success with Ashley. Wow, Connect to Success with Ashley Owens. Coffee is kicking in, and I have today as a guest Bill Morrow from. Where are you from, Bill?
I'm from right over there.
Oh, good, cool.
Yeah.
Detroit, mostly Detroit. Cool.
Detroit area.
Beautiful. So, Bill, the reason why I have you here today is because you have shown a huge impact on how you make your connections champions, and selfishly, I want to learn how you do it. So, tell people why. First of all, tell people why networking is important to you, why it can be dispersed among many different avenues, and why making people your champions and how you do is important.
Well, I wish I could tell you I was smart enough that I was a power network my whole life. I was not.
We had to fail a lot to be.
Failed a lot, and I really didn't understand the power of a personal network and a professional network. And until about 2.5, 3 years ago, when I decided to come out and start my own company, I'd been that VP of sales in large companies and never thought, there's not a need to be a networker. What do you need a personal network for? You go, you do the job, you come home, the little time you have left, I don't want to spend in an event somewhere or meeting someone.
It's very transactional.
Very transactional. Yeah, totally wrong. I really had to learn the whole game over again 3 years ago after years of selling and sending people to events, not really knowing what I was asking them to do. I've done that, and it is critical. If you're not out networking on a regular basis, you're really missing out because you learn so much. You meet great people, and you never know anymore. If you have a job, today you have a job, tomorrow you don't, you're going to need that network because that network is what's going to get you to that next landing spot.
So somebody who is completely new to networking, where would you say for them to start?
Yeah, I say really there's so many opportunities. The Meetup of the world, if you're completely new to it, you can go on to Meetup and really find a bunch of different groups. LinkedIn will post some. If you're not on LinkedIn, you got to get on LinkedIn. You got to be active and then just ask. You'll find everyone knows of a group or two, or they've been involved in some kind of association. They can tell you the ones to go to, and you'll quickly find it snowballs. I had nobody that I knew any, and I got 2 right away. Went to the first 2, and they told me about 6 more.
So it's okay. So going to the avenues that are already available to you, which is the meetups, the Eventbrites of the world, finding out the things that are that you like to do, and asking those people who are within that group, where do they go?
Correct.
Like knowing your audience and being able to ask those questions.
And I think you hit on something really important there. It's what you like to do and what you want to do. It doesn't have to be, oh, this is what everyone told me to go to. I would ignore that because there's some smaller groups or some events that I go to that I just personally enjoy. I enjoy the people that are there. I get a lot of satisfaction in joining and being a part of that, and I have the best results because of that.
What do you think advice you would give somebody who's brand new, maybe coming out of school, doing the research, going looking for networking groups that maybe have events that you can go and attend and not just be, just a part of the group?
Sure.
What advice would you give somebody who is on LinkedIn, brand new, and what kind of process do you use, and how would you like to tell them to use it?
Yeah, I look for, and again, 3 years ago when I came out on my own and did my own company, I had no network in the Philadelphia market. Even though I lived here for the last 19 years, I had no network here because you work across the country or work across multiple countries and you don't have anyone. So you start reaching out for people that are either in tangential lines of work or people that just looked interesting, and you write a note. You just, hey, I would like to connect you for these reasons. This is how I would like to chat, and I would just like to have a follow-up conversation afterwards. Really critical. Just don't send me, especially me, a blind connect. Hey, I want to connect because we're connected to a lot of people. I will summarily discard that. But if you give me a good reason you want to connect with me, I'm happy to connect with anyone that gives me a good reason.
It's a knowledge share, being able to transfer that knowledge. Do you ever, I know you said that you declined some people if they're just giving you a blanket statement, but you're being a little humble, and I kind of want to brag about you for a second. So what Bill likes to do is he likes to go onto LinkedIn, and he is constantly celebrating the people on LinkedIn, people that he's connected with. Great article. This is very great. This is wonderful. Thank you for this insight. Constantly every day I see his stuff coming through, and that is so valuable and so important, because not only are you identifying great ways to be able to connect with that person, but you're engaging in them in a way that that encourages them in their businesses. Yeah. And that's building a relationship, and it just so happens to be on a social network.
Yeah, you're so spot on. Only, I forgot what the number is, 3 or 4% of people ever engage in any post on LinkedIn or any social media, which I always think is a huge miss. You really have an opportunity to be genuine and read things, and it takes 30 seconds to read a quick article or a comment and comment back or like or whatever. And so on a given day, I probably spend 15 to 20 minutes on LinkedIn.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. 15 to 20 minutes is all it takes.
That's it. And then I respond to maybe 20, 30 things, and some are great, and I make comments back, and sometimes I share that back with my group. Yeah. And what's fantastic for me, my outcome is I get looked at as a thought leader, because more and more people come to me and they ask me, what's that, or what do you think of this? And because they've seen me comment on something somebody put on LinkedIn. But it's a great opportunity, and for them, the people on the other end you always love when somebody comments. It's great, makes you feel good, you get some reaction.
It's the constructive, it could be constructive criticism, it could be feedback, but you need to be able to know that you're doing, it's engaging in a way that's helpful to somebody else, the value that's there.
Exactly.
Now we're going to wrap up, but I want to talk about your podcast real quick. Can you tell people what your podcast is about?
Yeah, we have a podcast that comes out on a weekly basis on SoundCloud. It's called Business Transformers Radio. Really I do it with the 3 of us. You've been a guest, which we've loved having you on.
Thanks, guys.
A genius networker and a project manager and everything else. We've learned a lot from you.
Thanks, guys.
But we do we post it every Thursday or Friday, and it's just about business growth and how do you grow business.
And how can people find you, Bill? Look into that camera. People love you.
We are at www.thinkempirical.com.
And how can people contact you?
At bmorrow@thinkempirical.com.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being here. You're always
Thanks.
a joy. Your eyes are so blue, I can't even handle it.
It's perfect today.
Perfect day for the blue thing. So today, thank you all very much for joining me on Connected Success with Ashley Owens on RVN TV. Stay tuned next week when we talk to another power networker in the greater Philadelphia and South Jersey area. We'll see you next week.